Hello, beautiful. How are you? And how are you taking care of yourself today? I'm Heidi Esther, Joyful Purpose mentor, soccer mom, author, best-selling author, and I am here to share a story with you today. I am trying out something new, so give me 1 second here. Oh, that's not going to work. I am trying out something. Oh, you might have heard that. Okay. All right. So if you are in the Joyfully Ever After group, I can finally see your comments. Stephanie Treasurer, hello. And so good to see you today. Would love to know how you are taking care of yourself. I gave myself some grace this morning. That's how I took care of myself. I woke up with a pretty bad headache. And after I got the kids all going and into school, I lay down for a 20-minute meditation nap with a big glass of water and a headache med. And I woke up and I feel pretty good. It's not all gone, but it's definitely on the mend. So fantastic. All righty. So today I'm going to share a story with you. And this is a recent story, but I could have easily written this story from 10,000 other points in my life. Why? My story is about guilt. And it didn't just start when I became a mama. Maybe it got amplified a little bit, but it's always been there. It's been this heavy weight that I don't know, maybe tried to outrun or outbusy or outperfect or just give into. I didn't know what to do with it until I became aware of it. So I'm going to share a story with you today, and I would love to know what you think about it. So please feel free to put your comments in the chat, and we can chat a little bit more about the big beast of guilt. So, all right, I'm going to begin. You ready? Oh, yeah, here we go. I sat there yesterday on my bed, my hot laptop staring right up at me, my legs aching from laying flat, my middle-aged back screaming, "You know you have a desk for this." But my stomach and head weren't listening, despite all the nagging and the aches and the pains. I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my God, it had been like 3 hours since my last break. And to be honest, I don't know the last time I worked so efficiently and quickly. I did all this crazy content creation, like stuff for my book launch and graphics and, whatever today's, technical issue with my book was. So all is well. All of my tabs in my browser are closed. Well, except for one, except for my personal email tab. The purple outline of my Chrome browser still open at the top of the screen, haunting me. So there might be an email I am in super procrastination mode about sending. When I think about sending it, I just kind of get this furrowed brow, and I know that doesn't help, and I always, try to smooth it out. But here's the deal. Okay, so my son loves soccer. He even has this tiny phone, and he stares at all those little players like ants on a screen, and he plays on his high school team, and he loves And I think it's because he loves running and he loves working out with other people. And, it's kind of win-win. I mean, he even took cross country in middle school to stay in shape for high school soccer. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I call that commitment. So he's a sophomore now. He has this wonderful opportunity to join a local traveling team. So if you don't know what a traveling team is, or being a part of a traveling team in like soccer or basketball or softball, there's traveling teams for almost every sport. His team, 3 practices a week during the week, school week, 1 out of town, tournaments on the weekends. A lot of soccer experience, right? For my little man who's committed to soccer, but also a lot of driving around by yours truly. And it happens to take place at the worst time. I'm getting ready for my first book launch. I'm getting ready to share my knowledge in an upcoming course. I I can't see a way to get him to all the stuff, all the soccer stuff, and not slamming face first into burnout again. When he first mentioned it to me, it's like my whole body wanted to like scream and run away and hide in a cave and never come back. I just didn't even want to answer it. Because you know what that is. Yeah, guilt. So I came up with a plan to kind of like deal with this guilt, solve my time dilemma. I decided I wanted to see how bad he really wanted it. Like, how committed is he? So I talked to him about taking responsibility and initiative. I told him to ask his dad maybe to drive him to some practice. I also asked him to come up with a plan to, take care of his dehydration migraines and also keep his grades up. I mean, he's in a lot of like honors classes and stuff. So it turned out he didn't want to join the team like that bad. And 1 week later, he told me he's like, okay, that's fine. I don't have to join a traveling team. He didn't even sound that disappointed. But somebody else can't let it go. Me. It's been over a week since my son said he let it go. And today is the last day to sign up for this team. I can't bring myself to let the soccer coach know he won't be on the team because I have that guilt. Shouldn't I be doing the driving? Isn't that my job? Aren't I just being selfish with focusing on my business? The nights will be late, but I can totally go to bed, back to bed after dropping the kids off at school, right? My head filled to the brim with guilt. So I click on the purple browser. I open up an email. My whole body tenses and I write through blurry eyes. I'm so sorry I didn't respond to you earlier. We unfortunately are not able to have Jonathan on the soccer team this season. Thank you so much for your wonderful communication and your dedication to helping these boys reach their highest potential. With gratitude, Heidi. Yeah, I tried to kind of like cover up my guilt with like an enormous amount of gratitude. So that didn't work. The rest of the day, I kind of laid around whining to my family about my problems. About how I felt so bad, about how I failed as a super mom. Yeah, totally not pleasant to be around. So today, I got up and I decided I didn't want to carry this guilt around anymore. I mean, who is it helping? I mean, my family doesn't even want to be around me. I don't even want to be around me. Then I remembered something or some things. Who has time for guilt when there's like love and joy and impact and motherhood to enjoy? Who has time for guilt when there's all that good stuff in my life? So I worked through 6 steps to free me from that guilt. Well, it didn't take me that long. It took me a couple days completely to feel good. This also wasn't my first rodeo with recognizing my inner guilt monster. So, what are the 6 steps? Today, I am going to be talking all about them in my 30 days to guilt-free free workshop. I talk about the 6 critical steps that you can move through. And yeah, the first time you go through them, it might take a little bit. You're going to have to consciously think about things. But I mean, think about the alternative, living with guilt. So I think it's pretty important to not live in guilt. I mean, think about what your life would be like if you didn't have to worry about when people said stuff and feeling bad about it. And even if they said stuff and you felt bad about it, you could recognize what to do and not be trapped by that guilt, by the inner obligation that you've been carrying around forever. So that is my story. And I hope to see you at noon. Today is April 13th. If this is not April 13th, then you can find a replay in my workshops playlist, which I will put a link in to the comments. All right. Sending you love, light, and laughter. Until next week, I'm Heidi Esther.